Welcome to Musical Steps. My name is Winnie and I have been a teacher for almost a decade now. The more I taught, the more there was a barrier to musical education, especially financial. It's really not easy to get a music teacher these days, and especially a piano teacher. So in the spirit of giving and over Christmas, I had launched Musical Steps as just my way of contributing to the world. So Musical Steps is where you submit a video of your own playing, and I can give you basically a lesson or a masterclass on it through this video format. Now, everything I suggest in my lessons are purely my own opinion as well, so you're most welcome to take it or leave it. But most of all, what I want to do is encourage progress, and I'm not looking for perfect finished products. I just wanted to help for people who don't have access to a teacher and would like a little bit of help with their musical journey, or they're working on a project or a piece that they really like and they want to improve it in some way but they don't know what to do next. So that's what I'm here for, just to give you a few pointers, and all of this is free. Okay, so let's get started. My very first submission, it's very exciting. It's a submission of Debussy's first Arabesque. This is a piece I have played and taught a lot, and I think it's a really, really beautiful piece. Right, that was fantastic. Thank you very much for putting yourself forward and for submitting your playing. I really enjoyed that performance, and I think there was a lot of natural musicality going and a lot of lyricism, and the melodies really, really flowed, and I think it was wonderfully in the style of Debussy, so bravo. Okay, so you've asked me some specific questions that you would like help with. So firstly, you wanted to ask, do I think that you did enough of a stringendo in the first page? So I think stringendo, which means the act of accelerating and getting louder with your crescendo as a way of gaining excitement. I feel like it can be more effective if it was done in the tempo as marked in the beginning of the piece. So we have the word andantino con moto. So that's a little bit faster than andante, which we often translate as at a walking pace. So something a little bit faster than a walking pace. So if this is how we often walk, and where we're thinking, and con moto means with the feeling of movement, with movement. So actually, maybe even almost at that tempo, whatever you can push yourself to feel comfortable. So that can help it flow a little bit more. And then when you get to the stringendo, because all of it is in quavers, we've got these really sort of in the left hand, and I think they can really start rolling along as if they are almost in the feeling of these flowing triplets at the beginning. So that's just an example. So really focus on that left hand movement and get it flowing. So something I really like that you're doing as well is that at the opening you use a lot of this wrist and arm movement. So it really helps the opening feel like a single wave and organic, and it all flows into each other. Very well done. Okay, so this particular section at bar 40, you asked me whether it sounded a bit horizontal and what you can do to help it sound less horizontal. I think it is a big trap often that when our body has lots of big chords that our arms tend to want to do this, and so it can end up sounding quite stodgy. But I actually didn't find at all that you were playing, your playing was very horizontal. In fact, I think you were trying very hard to think about the melodic line and persist to it. So I think it was quite effective. What might be able to help it become psychologically easier is to really move and feel all of the moving triplets and the quavers. So here there's movement in the right hand, there's movement in the left hand. and then we've got quavers again. So just think through ta 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 rather than ta 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 ta. If you think of them as four individual notes, it can be really hard, and then to keep the music moving, and then we tend to get a little bit stuck. And then move through here. Reach for the top, then reach for the top. Now here, there's tenuto here. So here is a moment you can really put emphasis on all three of these notes, which you did very well. So the same thing in the next couple of bars as well. Okay, and then you asked me whether later on in the very same page, wherever these moments that say mosso, Debussy is going more and more, give me more, and so it goes mosso, crescendo, then rit, only through 4 notes, and then mosso again, big crescendo, and then 2 hairpins, 2 giant crescendi, 2 bars that, in the score look exactly the same, but should not be played the same. So actually, ultimately, your climax is bar 54, and in bar 54, I think by then we must have sort of developed an entire tsunami towards it, and that tsunami begins in bar 51, the second mosso. So when you start from the bottom and then you make your way to the top, really engage your entire body. Take 2 deep breaths. So da, da, da. Use your whole body weight to help you play this chord. Da, da, da. Then breathe again, even deeper than the first time. Da, 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 da. Can just take a little bit more space, a little bit more time. Think almost like a non-written rit, just to give it a little bit more of that punch and drama, and then immediately take it away in the next bar for the out tempo. Great, so you've done really well, and I hope I've addressed most of the questions that you have asked about playing the piece. The other thing you said is sometimes in my head when I am playing, I have all the ideas, but when I listen back, it feels like it didn't show in my playing. I feel like when I am playing it, it sounds a lot better, but when I listen back, I could have done more. Actually, this is something I think many of us can relate to, myself included. I often find that in my playing, I have a big idea inside my head, and I'm not sure if I actually executed it. This is when recording yourself comes really in handy. Sometimes we think we're doing something because we've got all of these emotions inside of us, and we just want to pour it out, and so we show it through maybe our body language, but that doesn't necessarily mean the sound we're making on the piano has reflected that. So recording ourselves can be a really good third perspective when we're not caught up in the moment, in the feelings of these passion and emotion, and to just see, okay, now that I'm calm, I'm seeing it from a third perspective. What do I actually sound like? And you can really focus on listening to yourself in that moment. Have a go at that and see if it helps you hear yourself a little bit better. I found that recording myself was really helpful because in my own playing, I also had the exact same problems where I think I'm doing something, but actually it's not quite what I expected. And another huge advantage of recording yourself is that you often spot problems that you didn't notice before. So in a way, it can really help you be your own teacher. But I think you've gone, this piece, it's really coming along. You've got a really good idea of how it's supposed to go. I think just build a little bit more confidence with it. You can push up the tempo when you feel ready, and I think really commit yourself a bit more to the bigger, more exciting bits. Great, thank you so much for putting yourself forward. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please, again, take everything I say just as my opinion as well. So if Musical Steps is something that you would like to participate in, please do sign up. The links are in the descriptions. And when you fill up the submission form, there is a section to ask if there's any particular problems you would like help with, or if you have any questions for any particular section. I'd be very happy to help you address them.